Anurag Kashyap's Kennedy revisits terrain that has long defined his cinema. Moral ambiguity, institutional decay, and men shaped by violence. Set in a pandemic-stricken Mumbai, the film uses deserted streets, masked faces, and a subdued urban landscape to create a world defined by isolation. The city feels emptied out, and its protagonist exists in a similar emotional vacuum. The film follows Uday Shetty, a police officer whose career collapses after a custodial death during an interrogation connected to gangster Salim. Public outrage and media condemnation reduce him to a symbol of police brutality. His personal tragedy deepens when Salim retaliates by killing Uday's young son in a car bombing. This moment marks the psychological breaking point from which there is no return. With the help of Police Commissioner Rashid Khan, Uday stages his disappearance and re-emerges as Kennedy, a man who operates in the shadows as a contract killer. He becomes both a tool of the system and a casualty of it. While he carries out acts of violence with clinical detachment, he emotionally remains tethered to his estranged family. Watching them from a distance, he cannot cross. Kashyap frames Kennedy's journey less as a conventional revenge story and more as a portrait of psychological disintegration. The film is deliberately slow and introspective, prioritizing mood and internal conflict over narrative urgency. This approach creates a strong sense of atmosphere, but it leads to uneven pacing. Several sequences linger longer than necessary, and the narrative occasionally feels fragmented rather than layered. The pandemic backdrop adds visual and thematic texture, reinforcing the film's sense of emptiness and disconnection. However, it sometimes functions more as aesthetic context than narrative necessity. The emotional core of the story lies in Kennedy's internal collapse, and not all of the film's stylistic choices deepen that exploration. Rahul Bhatt delivers a restrained and effective performance in the lead role. His portrayal avoids exaggeration, relying instead on physical stillness and subtle shifts to convey Kennedy's emotional detachment. Sunny Leone offers a surprisingly grounded performance as Charlie, bringing nuance to a character who could easily have been reduced to a stereotype. Mohit Takalkar presents Rashid Khan as quietly manipulative, though the character's motivations are not always fully explored. Technically, the film is accomplished. The cinematography captures Mumbai in dim, shadow-heavy frames that reinforce the noir tone. The sound design and score complement the film's atmosphere, though at times the stylization draws attention to itself rather than serving the story. Kennedy is ultimately more concerned with emotional and moral ambiguity than with narrative clarity. Its refusal to offer easy answers aligns with its thematic focus, but it may also leave some viewers feeling emotionally distant. The film succeeds in creating a haunting and immersive mood, yet it does not always maintain narrative momentum or fully develop its supporting characters. While not among Kashyap's most tightly constructed works, Kennedy remains an interesting and often compelling character study. It reflects his continued interest in flawed individuals and compromised systems, even if its execution is occasionally uneven.